Well, here we go again. The reason I'm saying here we go again is this is going to be the fourth time I've done this reading tonight. First time, turned camera on, turned it back off, and forgot to turn it back on after I checked it. Second time, I put it on photo. Did a beautiful reading. This is on Kellyanne Conway. And I couldn't believe how much it just gave me more information with a lot of the same cards the first one did. Just took me further into her and what was going on with her leaving the White House. And then the third one I did, quite a few different cards. It was just a more down the line reading. It's like my guides are telling me a story about her. This is the end. The cards on here now are the end of the third one I did on her, because I set it up where I read on her and then personally, and then asked 2 or 3 questions, and these are the questions I was asking across. But jokingly, I said, "Is this a book deal?" You know, when I started this out. But I didn't pick these up because this was when I was, like I said, the second one, and I'm just going to go back through and point at them, and then I'm going to do all 3 of them over again. But I wanted to keep these cards up here for that reason. Because I was joking, but I already knew better because I'd read on them. There's nothing to do with the book deal, but I said, "Is this to do with the book deal?" And she came out... that she didn't have any choice. She had to get out of the White House because she'd been foolish. Let me pull all this down. Because something was coming out that was going to change the whole world and the whole fortune at the White House, and it's coming out right away. And she's going to end up right in the middle of it. Because I know, because every time I did this reading tonight, this came out. Ten of Swords has come out right, and I don't know if that's in her bad. One time it came out like she was the spy in the camp, and it was her that was putting where the story was coming from, but I don't know. Anyway, she's got to move to higher ground as quick as she can, because and the second one I was asking, just joking, is she going to get perp walked out of there if she don't get out of there? Her woman's intuition's going to come through and help her. She definitely could be a spy in the camp. It's to do with Russia. Biden knows about this. Somebody got paid off. Of course, somebody's always getting paid off in this administration. But she knows where the payment came from. She's thinking damned if she does and damned if she doesn't. Because all these secrets are coming out, and they're coming out about Trump. And the strength of America is coming back. She's getting ready to take the lid off that cup. Money's going to come out. What's been going on in Oz. It's going to show that Trump's been hanging on to most of the money, and he's getting payoffs from everywhere, and the truth is coming out. But now I'm going to stick these back in here. Maybe I'm just getting used to doing the same reading. But I'm going to stick these back in here, and we're going to do this one more time. And if I do this one more time, it'll be 5 times, well, because I drew them more than once, it's going to be about 6 times I've drew these cards tonight. And every time the Ten of Swords and the Devils came out. First one came out with her moving to smoother waters. That's why she was leaving before everything hit, and then the Devil was the next one. But anyway, instead of saying what came out before, but I'm going to do this again. And the first one's just going to be like a Celtic cross on I'm doing so good now I can't. Kellyanne Conway. She says she's leaving to go home and take care of her kids. Like she's so worried about her kids all of a sudden. I know they're having trouble with the one daughter or whatever. But that's, supposedly George is quitting the, Lincoln Society or Lincoln whatever that is. So, but I don't think they're quitting for family reasons. And it didn't come out in any of the cards that it was for anything to do with family reasons or kids reasons or whatever. It looks just like the big crapola is getting ready to hit the fan. I mean, huge shit. And she doesn't want to be there when it happens. And she may be the reason it's getting ready to hit the fan. Maybe it looks like she's already been talking a whole lot to somebody behind the curtains. And since her husband's a lawyer, this has probably been worked out ahead of time. I'd be willing to bet that the spy in the camp came out 2 or 3 times right next to her, so I'd be willing to bet she may be one of them. Well, it looks like even now, no matter where I stick these cards, even when they fall out, they just keep coming back in the same places. That is so weird. I hadn't got the tower yet, but I got all the other cards that was worse than the tower and the debt. So let's see. Why is Kellyanne Conway leaving the White House? And why is she getting out of there in such a freaking hurry? So why is Kellyanne Conway leaving the White House? And why is she leaving in such a hurry? It's been telling me on all the other cards. I didn't even have to ask why is she leaving in a hurry and watch it. Well, no. It's going to come out right. It's not going to just keep coming out crazy. Let's just hope I got this thing going and going right. Not in slow motion. I couldn't figure out because the last one it was going and all of a sudden it just, you couldn't hear me talking or anything, and it just took forever to bring a card up. And then I thought maybe the whole camera had broke, and then it dawned on me that it had flipped over to slow. I must have touched. I'm not used to having the iPad this close to me, and I just must have touched it or something and moved it to slow motion. Just touched it some way. And I was using the microphone, but I quit because I'm standing right here where it picks up the sound, and I'm hoping it's picking it up. Higher ground card. I am so tired because I get better reading sometimes when I stand up, and I was standing up for all these because I wasn't on camera, and so this is right now. This is about 2.5 hours because I kept messing them up. So let's get it going before this camera goes off because it's only half charged. So come on, Kelly. What are you up to, Kelly? 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 What's going on with you? What's going on with you? Well, you're leaving in a hurry. Something's getting ready to happen and happen fast. Okay, it's the first time he's come up. It's because of Trump. Of course, we all assumed it was because of him she was leaving. This is for Kelly. Theft. Maybe she decided to get in better with her family. These are totally different cards. This is the same one. She just found out recently she's between the wall and a hard place. It doesn't matter whether she goes up or down or jumps or turns the card wheel. She's not getting out of this, so she's going to have to make a decision. The truth is coming out. And even though she's supposedly upstairs above them and stuff, she knows where the bodies are buried and she knows where the money is. And this is so mild compared to those other cards. She's afraid if she doesn't get out of there, and I think she's going to talk to somebody, that she's going to be in jail. Because this truth is coming out, whether she's there or not, and she'd rather get the hell out of there before it comes out. Okay. She's wondering if she can juggle her way out of this. Maybe she jumps forward and just starts telling everything she knows, if she can get a deal. And I never really thought of her. She may be offered a deal. Now these cards are so totally different, but they're telling the same story, just milder. The other ones are just shock and awe. Every one of them I drew. She is going to try to smooth it over with her children. The truth is coming out. She's worried about herself being in jail with the rest of them. It's about all the theft that Donald Trump's done, where all the money's gone. So I'm going to stick these back. Let me draw. Judgment's coming out. The law's coming after him heavy, big time. And justice. That just about says it all. I was going to draw some other ones like I was before, jokingly. But that just about says it all right there. The truth's coming out. The only way she can get out of this is to tell him what she knows, even though she don't want to tell him what she knows. They're making her an offer. From the other cards that I've drawn tonight, I'd say it looks like she's going to accept it. Judgment's coming down hard. The law's coming down hard. And justice is coming out. And from the other cards I did, it looked like it was coming out in a hurry. But I'm going to go ahead and do these other things jokingly like I had written over there for the first one before I ever started. It's the first time. Anyway, it looks like her family's going to be glad to have her back. It's the first time. That's the Three of Cups is the only good card that's turned up in the last hour and a half since I started doing these readings on her and messing them up. In fact, these are nicer cards than any of the other ones I turned up, even with except the last three showing exactly what's going on, why she's getting out of there. So the next question I always ask is she getting out of there so she can write her book before the end of the year? Is she getting out of there so she can write her book before the end of the year? There, so she can write her book before the end of the year. She's getting out of there so she can write her book by the end of the year. My candles almost burn out here, and those things burn about 3 or 4 hours. So anyway, well, she's getting out of there because there's truth coming out. And it's not good truth that's coming out. It's some really bad shit that's getting ready to break. And the whole world's going to be interested in it. Now we're getting the cards like I had before. It's just going to blow the lid off. This is all you're going to hear all over the world, and it's about money. It's about a lot of money. And this isn't just about Trump's family money. This is about money that's been grabbed out of the government since he took over. And the second question I was asking, going across here, is getting out of there before she's perp walked out of there, because is there disaster coming down on the White House. Yes, that's the message coming out. And nobody's going to be able to get out of here. They're not going to be able to spin this. About all the thievery. All the money that they've been throwing this way and that way, when they're really funneling huge amounts right into the people's pockets. Before this is over, she's going to get an offer. She's already had an offer for everything she knows. And this is the other card that kept coming up, was the Ten of Swords. And this is like every one of these. It's been damned if she does and damned if she doesn't. It's like the mercenaries. She's actually afraid for her life. This can't come up every time you do a reading. Altogether, I've drawn these cards about 6-7 times tonight, and that Ten of Swords has been in every one of them as the outcome. So I actually think I can't imagine they would, Trump's not Putin, but I feel like she's in danger. Maybe she's just in mental and physical danger of herself because she's a nervous wreck. Some lady judge, some lady prosecutor, or something is coming after her, and she knows it. Maybe from her husband. I felt like this from the other cards. It's from her husband. She knows she could end up in jail. Biden knows about this already. The light's going to be shown on this. The offer's been made to her to keep her out of jail. She's laying awake nights worrying about it. And she's leaving to try to get to higher ground. So this is pretty much what's been coming out all night. This world card. Whatever's coming out, it is really, really big. This has come out in every one of them. It is really, really big. And what they've been doing is really, really dangerous. Something that endangered the United States. Could be that T word. Remember, this is for fun and entertainment, but it could be treason. I don't know. Anyway, whatever's going on, Biden knows about it. Not the Biden campaign, but he knows about it because he's being briefed. Maybe that's why he's not trying any harder than he is to include a bunch of people that would love to jump on that bandwagon if they would just give an inch. Anyway, remember to vote no matter what, blue no matter who, and make a plan to get out and vote. And it looks like she's getting out of that White House because she has no other choice, and she's just trying to get out of there before the big, big shit hits the fan, and it's going to hit the fan, and it's going to hit the fan quickly. I'm going to do one more row. How quickly? Looks like we're going to be celebrating right away. We're going to show where the money's buried. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Truth about Russia's coming out. She's going to feel really foolish that she even stayed there. Quickly on Trump. Truth coming out. Offer's been made. Truth coming out, so she might as well take the offer they're making her. Okay, all, I'm going to tell you good night, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you've never hit it before, if you've watched me a couple of times. And I think the thumbs up helps. I keep saying I think it helps, but everybody says it does, so it must. I'm not going to put any ads at all on this because it's a short one. Until I get to talk to my guy, I'm not putting any ads on anything. And I haven't wanted to bother him, but I'm going to make a point to get a hold of him here in the next couple of days and see what to do to stop those mid-roll ads. So thank you all for watching, and everybody take a deep breath. Don't watch the news all day long. Go do something you love to do. I went swimming today, and that was the most wonderful thing I could do for myself. And after I cleaned house, I was almost too lazy to go. So I want to tell everybody good night, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye now. Love to y'all.